Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Quinton here, and welcome to tutorial number 7 in my HTML series. And in this tutorial, we are going to be talking about images. Okay, now there are a few different things that we actually need to remember or have to do when adding an image to our website. Now, the first thing is to actually have two images. So I've got two over here. So one is my desktop background and the other one is an image that I was using for a little project that I made a few days ago. Okay, now I'm going to keep these images in the same folder or the same directory as my index.html file. Okay, so they're all under a folder called tutorial 7, as you can see, and basically this is just going to allow, whenever I want to add an image, all I need to know is the image name. Okay, if you guys want to be able to keep your pictures in a different folder, you're going to have to learn about directory paths, which I will talk about in the next tutorial. But for now, please remember just to keep them in the same folder as your index.html file. Okay, so to add an image onto our website, we use the image tag, except you don't type the word image. Okay, you type in img. Okay, and that means image. Okay, and the image tag is a single tag, so we can go ahead and close that off now. But there are a few attributes. Now, if you guys watched the previous tutorial, you learned about attributes, and I told you that attributes are little bits of extra information that some of these HTML tags need to work. Okay, now I can't just go ahead and put in this image tag on my website because HTML obviously doesn't know what image I want to use. So I have to give it a little bit of extra information to tell it which image to use. Okay, so the attribute that we put in to check or to tell HTML which image we want on the website is src, and that stands for image source. Okay, and we're going to set that equal to the name of our image. Okay, so because because my image is on the same folder as my index file, all I have to do is type in that image name. So I'm going to go ahead and use the ghost.ping image, and when I save this now and go back to Firefox and click refresh, well, I actually ran it, you can see I've got this ghost showing up on the screen. So it's sort of like a Pac-Man ghost, but this was for a project that I did a little while ago. Okay, so now we've got the image on the screen, but to put in just image source as the attribute is not actually correct. It's not valid, because what happens if HTML can't find this image? So let's say I made a spelling mistake and I put got or whatever. Okay, if we go back to Firefox now and click refresh, Firefox couldn't find the image named got, so like nothing shows up on the page. Okay, so that's why we've got the second attribute called alt, and what this does is it puts out some writing of whatever image was supposed to be there. Okay, so let's just say ghost image over here, and whatever we put inside this alt attribute, whatever we set this alt attribute equal to, that is what will display on the screen if Firefox or Google Chrome couldn't find the image. Okay, so there we've got ghost image. Okay, so that would only show up if the image can't be found, but it's not valid to put an image on your website with just a source attribute. You have to also use an alt attribute in case the browser couldn't find the image, or in case maybe whoever was coming to your website turned images off in their browser or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and just correct that. Save it. go back to Firefox, and as you can see, when the image is found, then we don't get this alt attribute. We don't get these words showing up on the page. Okay, so the only reason why they're there is because it's not valid otherwise. Now, the next thing I want to show you guys is two more attributes which are considered good practice to keep in your image tag, but they can also be used to resize the image on the web page as well. So instead of using ghost.ping, I'm going to use this image called ash.jpg. Okay, so let's go ahead and just change this up. ash.jpg. Okay, and I can change that up, not that we need to, but the two other attributes that I want to talk to you guys about are called the width, and we got to set that equal to whatever the image width is, and the height. Okay, and we got to set that equal to the height. So let me just go back and find out how big that was. Okay, so it was 1920 by 1080 pixels, so that's quite big. So it's not even going to fit on the entire screen, but let's go ahead and save this now. Click refresh, and you can see we've only got this small section of the image showing. Okay, so it's actually this really big image of Ash from League of Legends. So as you can see, this image is not showing up in the browser correctly. It's way too big for what I need. So what I can do is I can use these width and these height attributes to actually change the size of the image. So let's say I actually only wanted it to be about 900 by 500 pixels, or 480 pixels, I think will do. So let's go ahead and save that now. Go back to Firefox, click refresh, and as you can see, we now have the image almost fitting correctly into the browser. Okay, now even though we have the ability to resize our image down with these attributes, it's still recommended to actually make the image the correct size in the first place. Reason why is because let's say people have like a slow internet connection or something. If they go to your website, they're still going to have to load that entire image and then resize it. So they're still going to load that huge image and then resize it down to the smaller size to be able to see it. Okay, so it's still going to include or add to the loading time, and that's going to be annoying for some people. Okay, but the main reason why these things are here is to set aside space for the image. Okay, so even if the Firefox or something could not find this image and it had to show this alt attribute Ash, okay, it would still set aside 900 pixels and 480 pixels of space for that image, so your website wouldn't look funny when someone came to your website to actually look at it. Okay, so actually nothing would look out of place because of the missing image. Okay, so that's why we have the width and the height attribute. So thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for you guys in this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. Please feel free to leave a comment, like, or share the video. It is really going to help my channel grow, and I'll see you guys in the next video.